YouTube it. What it do, Jive Turkeys, and welcome back to the Controversy. I'm your host, Ian Elliott-Carter, and of course, I got the most beautiful gal in the world with me, Tatiana Wilson.
Hello.
And I thank you guys all for watching, man. We're going to skip an episode next week because of Thanksgiving. I'll let you guys spend some time with your families. Of course, I'm more important than your families. I get that. But, yeah, spend some time with your families. Let me give 1 second. I'm going to share this on Facebook real quick. And then I'm going to introduce my guest, one of the biggest blurs I've ever met in my damn life. Holy shit. You guys aren't tripping. That's not a ghost. He's actually on the line. 1 second, though. Let me put this. I'm going to do a quick share real quick. And we should be going off. We got one person in the chat. What's going on, chatter? And we shall be starting on our topics real quick. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everybody, make sure everybody is able to see this, share this in the group, and we should be starting now-ish. And you got it, get it up so we can see everything. Okay, cool. All right, let's start that intro again. What it do, Jive Turkeys, and welcome back to the Controversy. I'm your host, Ian Elliott-Carter, and to the left of me, this is my left, right, is the most beautiful gal in the world, Tatiana Wilson.
Hello.
Hey. And yeah, in the studio right now, we actually have a guest. Kevin Garlington, I'm sorry. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? Happy to be here. Thank you both for having me. Ready to talk this shit. Now, I'm gonna warn the audience right now. In my left hand, I have that pure white Hennessy. So I don't know how long this shit is gonna be before I start slurring words and acting a fool. But just we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, I know how it is when black people get on that Hennessy, man.
You already know.
Kanye West's whole career. I'm glad you're here with us, man. And no, guys, you guys are not tripping. Ian has not lost it. He's not talking to himself. There's no ghost around here. Kevin's on the line right now, but you guys can hear him. And I'm glad to have him. He's a huge blurred, and every time we have a good conversation, we get lost in it and have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go ahead. So we're gonna talk about some of the conversations we're gonna have tonight. We're going to talk about Wonder Woman going on 2 platforms. Would it be the movie theater and HBO Max? We're going to talk about the perfect Thanksgiving meal because next week, you guys, we're going to be dealing with Thanksgiving. We're going to give you some ideas of what you guys can eat. We're going to be talking about One's Gotta Go. You ever played that game where you give scenarios of one needs to stay and one needs to go? We're going to make it hard for you guys. We're going to talk about some of our celebrity encounters. Talking to Kevin on the side, he's had some funny stories about some of the encounterments he's had. He actually used to be in promotions, so he's got a couple stories with celebrities as well. And we're gonna be talking. Yeah, I told Toddy a little bit about our story or about your story with Lil Jon.
Oh yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy one.
And then last one, we're gonna also talk about our predictions in the Mandalorian and Jeezy versus Gucci. So yeah, we got a jam-packed show. Without further ado, I bring to you our show. If you're in the chat, please give us some feedback. We'd love to talk to you guys. But our first conversation right now is going to be the most recent one that's fell on our radar is Wonder Woman going to HBO Max and theaters at the same time. Now, has this ever happened? Has any platform been at the same time on streaming service and movie theaters?
I don't think a movie this big.
Oh, no.
Maybe smaller movies, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think
not a big movie like this.
Like the that one that came out last year with Robert De Niro. Wasn't that The Irishman? I think did that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think you guys are right. And I also think the one that Idris Elba got the nomination for.
The Beast.
Yeah, Beast of No Nation, right? Because I think the Academy has this rule where you have to do like a small theatrical run,
right,
to get nominated. So Netflix threw it up, but
that's stupid.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree with you wholeheartedly, right? So I don't think we've seen anything on this magnitude being done this way. And Ian and I were talking before the show. Like I had to look this up to make sure this wasn't a bunch of BS, right?
Right.
Just to make sure it was legit. But it's definitely legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about this? Are you scared that movie theaters are going to be in danger just because of shit like this? People are scared to go out, and it's going to be a while till we're back to our normal selves. What are your thoughts, man?
Movie theaters are definitely in danger, but there are a couple of things that I think that may happen before we see them completely go away. So the comments that the executive from Disney made about 2 weeks ago, if anybody was up on this, he was saying that we need to become Netflix, is what the guy from Disney said, right? So if you look at that that mindset, which is Disney Plus is a cool app. I would get rid of Disney Plus for Netflix any day.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Over all of them.
We've talked on this show multiple
We had
times. Like
everything else.
we talked about this show multiple times. The Mandalorian's literally holding up. They
Barely.
regardless of COVID or not, they should have had a better plan with like stuff to put out. You should have had at least one Marvel show ready in the can, just in case something like this happened.
Yeah, you know, and I think his comments let me know that in that room where the guys making decisions, they were pretty split or pretty much on one side.
Right.
So with this guy coming out saying this is what we need to do, I think he was trying to push the ball forward a little bit. But I think the interesting thing about Wonder Woman and what she's getting ready to do here, as far as HBO Max and everything is concerned, HBO Max has been chomping at the bit to put their DC stuff on that app, right? So they went back and got Zack Snyder, and everybody's all excited or whatever, like, oh, he's gonna get redemption. And I'm cool about the redemption part. I think the man deserves that. But when you really look at the finances of it, where is HBO Max ever gonna get Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and Jason Momoa, right? For that little bit of money. Even if they give him $50 million to finish this movie, they would never get all three of those folks on the show to anchor that app. Same thing with this here. I think this just helps to solidify HBO Max because they really don't have anything to offer us, really, to make you join up for the service is what I mean, right? So I think that's kind of what it is.
I mean, I guess the difference, because I do enjoy HBO Max a little bit more than Disney Plus, and both of them are relying on nostalgia. So that is a good point. And I think the main thing that they had was Lovecraft Country, and of course Disney has The Mandalorian. But I think the nostalgia from HBO Max got my attention a little bit more, just because I'm a grown man. Of course, it's not gonna.
But like we also can't even act like HBO doesn't make incredible content on their own. Like they're not just surviving. We love our Euphoria. Nostalgia. Like they have amazing shows. They are known for making like phenomenal, like movie quality budget.
Shit, yeah, I mean that's what Disney Plus is trying to do with like the Marvel stuff too. They're giving the theater budgets to that stuff.
But they haven't.
But they absolutely. No, you guys are right, and I think that the one thing that Time Warner needs to do is they need to merge the apps. So you were talking about Lovecraft Country, right? I was watching that on the regular HBO Go because that's what I had. So I didn't get grandfathered into HBO Max because having that, right? So at this point, you would think they would grandfather everybody in and unify the app and make it one app. So I think that's something they should probably work on. But the second thing I wanted to bring up is the reason why I don't think theaters going anywhere is because Disney and Amazon are sitting there waiting for AMC and Regal and everybody to go belly up. Amazon will buy the movie theaters. I see it coming. You're gonna walk in there and you're gonna scan your Amazon Prime thing and get $1 off popcorn. Watch.
I love that idea.
I mean, I'm not against that.
I love that idea.
I think we need not only does society need theater, and this is a selfish thing. We're just nerds wanting to watch movies, but there's better things. There's better fish to fry, like a cure for COVID. But
hey, they're working on it.
They're working on it. But when it comes to like quality content, there's some things that need to be seen in theaters, like horror movies and comedy. You're not going to get the same experience when you're at the house. But like a drama or something like that with your girl, you might, get the same type of thing. But like you only get that scare or that laugh one time. And when you're in a vibe with a whole movie theater, like it's a better experience than on your couch.
Absolutely. I mean, the social contract of going to the movies with a bunch of people is always the best. Like horror is always the best case scenario for me, right? It's horror. Yeah, man. It's horror, and it's back when Marvel or superhero films would come out at midnight, right? Because only the true nerds would get up at midnight to go to this movie. Now the releases are at 7, so you kind of get a little bit of trickle in. But I can remember times like I remember going to see like X3 at midnight, and it's me and 200 other people that know the X-Men cover to cover.
Well, he's showing his age right now.
Yeah. I should have picked a more. I should have picked up a little. Yeah, but the thing is that you're right, and I think that as everybody's like kind of in the house for COVID and chomping at the bit to get out, you got 2 drug companies that got these quote unquote vaccines that could be coming, and I think that if we as a country are vaccinated by next summer. Summer of 21 will be the greatest summer of movies to ever be released. We will be in the theater every 4 days, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be stumbling over themselves trying to figure weekends to make money. So I kind of feel like the movie industry will bounce back hard if people just get vaccinated. You know what I mean?
I think you got a lot more faith than a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends have given up faith. I'm with you though, bro. I'm not that. The conversation just breaks my heart to never go to a movie theater again. But I think hopefully this vaccination should work, and we should be able to go back to normal. And I do agree. A lot of these creators are in the house right now, being crazy creative, and they're ready to show their wings in the movie theater right now.
Absolutely. So I think it'll come back around. I think there's a couple of things keeping people inside. I mean, like I know COVID, right? But the thing is, the amount of people who don't want to wear a mask and really don't care, what's keeping them in is the evil eye you get from everybody else. And also the fact they haven't released the movies. I would be like really surprised to see what like Ghostbusters would do if they just put it out right now.
Yeah.
And it's open. I'll be really surprised to see what it would do. I don't think they should, but I think, I think they make some money. Not all.
I think honestly, like if it's a big enough movie and you throw it out there, I think people would definitely go regardless. Sure. Because I mean, there's a million. I mean, it's at least where we are. It's a lot more lax than it obviously has been in the past.
True.
Even though they're saying numbers are apparently higher than they have been for the last couple of months, but
man, people are protesting, trying to go into like. Remember when they were protesting the whole gym thing? People wanted to go to the gym and they wanted to protest. Man. You don't know how much people love Marvel movies. If you say, "Hey, we're putting out Black Widow," people are gonna say, "COVID, what?"
There's a lot more Marvel nerds out there.
For sure.
People that are like love the gym.
Oh yeah, those fat people that are not in the gym, they're gonna be going to the Marvel movie.
That's why I said the Tenet shouldn't have came out. Tenet is not the movie that you want to test your waters on with COVID, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Like, look,
Tenet is an acquired, like Christopher Nolan is acquired a taste. So I get what you're saying. Yeah,
absolutely.
You got a shout out right here from our homeboy Alex right there. What's going on, Alex? Thank you for coming. He said, "What up, Kevin?"
What up, Alex?
What up? All right, man. Let's go and move on to the next subject right here. Next thing we're gonna talk about the Mandalorian. So, you're a fan of Star Wars and the Mandalorian, aren't you?
I am.
So, have you been liking season 2 so far?
I have, and I'll tell you this: I'm enjoying the pacing of season 2 much more than where we were at this point in season 1.
I think I agree.
But I do understand. I got to give Jon Favreau and the gang their credit. You got to open the world up, and they had a Herculean task of getting everybody to settle back down after the last trilogy ended. Right? It's kind of the worst time to bring out your show. Right after that last movie.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't even open that can of worms. But
yeah. But I'm enjoying it. The surprise of Baby Yoda in the first season, nobody saw coming. I was like, holy shit, where are they going with this? I'm still I don't know where they're going with this now, but I do like the road it's going on. I never watched Clone Wars or Rebels. My mom has watched all of it. So like every time I have a question, I literally call her. My mom is a huge
She literally reads the book. She's reading books right now.
She's reading
that's dope. That's dope, man.
Thrawn, right? Is that the blue guy? Thrawn? Is that his name?
Thrawn, the Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. Yeah,
she's reading all that. Yeah,
that's dope, man.
She'll literally call me and like put me on game and all that stuff. And she's informing me all the missing links when it comes to like the Mandalorian planet and how their society is and the clique. So I understood the references of the last episode of was it Bo-Katan?
Bo-Katan?
Yeah, Bo-Katan. Yeah. So I understood the reference of it, even though I don't know much about it. And I do know what's the Jedi's name with the dreads that was trained by Anakin?
Oh, you talking about Ahsoka?
Ahsoka, yeah. So I do know that reference of where that's going, which is played by Rosie Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names.
It's all good, man.
Names. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it's going. What are your theories, though? Because I have actually a theory with Boba Fett that I want to share, but I want to hear your theories.
I don't like that theory that's right there on the screen.
Well, we got one on the screen right here from Alex. Mando will die at the end of this season, and to set up Boba Fett. So they did announce a Boba Fett movie, though, so I don't think that's going to actually happen. But there probably is going to be more Boba Fett in this series, I believe.
Let me say this, right? So I know this channel is called The Controversy, so it wouldn't be fair if I didn't bring some controversy up here. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Boba Fett is trash.
This is why I don't like the theory.
I agree with you.
All right.
Boba Fett got like, what, 2 minutes of... Sorry.
Look, so back in the 70s, right, when the movie came out, back then, you could get away with a character being badass by just standing there looking menacing, right?
Just looking cool, yeah.
Right. So what happens... So for me, I've never been a Boba Fett fan, and I know that in the extended universe they got books with him, and he's supposed to be the baddest bounty hunter in the galaxy or whatever. So I'm one of those people. Show me, don't tell me. Show me why this dude is so dope, right? So I'm gonna just give y'all a perfect example here. If you go back and watch Return of the Jedi, when it's time for him to do something, he looks like a complete idiot with that damn rocket pad. He hits the side of Jabba's floating barge, and then he goes down to the Sarlacc pit, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, I would give Jango, his pops, more credit, or the man that he was cloned from, more credit than him, because Jango went toe-to-toe with Kamino with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right?
Oh yeah, you're right. He definitely put up a fight against Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course he was a part of that battle where, of course, Windu fucked him up.
It was 5 steps. I counted them. It was over with. His head got cut off. Right?
Yeah, that was real quick. But you're right though. He did give more of a badass take, like his presence in the Clone Wars, regardless of Attack of the Clones. Regardless of people's opinion on that movie, his scenes were actually pretty badass.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Now, and I know I sidetracked the whole conversation. I apologize. I'll get back to where we were. So one of my theories is that Mando was gonna fight with Bo-Katan, and they're gonna fight the Empire, and they're gonna go against the Grand Moff. I can't remember.
Grand Moff. I forgot his name too.
The dude is Giancarlo Esposito's character. From, And at the end of the last season, he cut himself out of the spaceship with the Darksaber. Which the last time, Grand Moff Gideon, right? So the last time that we saw the Darksaber, which was in the Clone Wars cartoon, Sabine had gave it to Bo-Katan so she could lead the Mandalorians. Right. So in this episode, when she talks, it's like she doesn't even know who has it. So I believe it was stolen from her.
Yeah.
I think they're going to reach Ahsoka or whatever, and they're going to go help the Mandalorians fight. I think that's kind of where we're going with this. Now, as far as kind of where we're going to end up and all this and that, I'm going to tell you 2 things I think that aren't going to happen. We aren't going to find out where Baby Yoda's home planet is, and we're never going to name his species.
Well, they're not going to. Yeah, they want like 3 or 4 more seasons to go, so we're definitely not going to get that this season.
Well, I don't think they're going to do it at all. That's one of those things that's a no-no. It's almost like giving the Joker an origin. It's a no-no. So if you, the reason why the people call him Baby Yoda, I mean, it's obvious, but there's a second level to that. In Star Wars canon, and everything you could think of, it's always, if you see a creature that looks like Yoda, it's always named Yoda's species. And Yoda's home planet.
Like it's like Frieza from Dragon Ball. Like everything's like Frieza species. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So, and then even in the Jedi home planet or whatever, Yoda's home world is not anywhere in the Jedi archives. So it's shit like that they're gonna probably keep a secret. But I know that we're gonna see Boba Fett. I think he's gonna show up. He's gonna have a part to play here, and he's probably gonna team up with the Mandalorian at some point here. He's got the armor. We'll probably get an old school throwback thing or whatever. I'm just want to go on record on this podcast and say I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm going to give a theory, and it's going to tie in Boba Fett.
Okay.
So I'm with you though. I've always thought Boba Fett was a very overrated character. Like I remember when I was a kid, everybody got I got Boba Fett. I was like, well, what does he do? He's just there. He's not done thing. So my theory is Boba Fett hates Jedi. Literally, one killed his father, and one was involved of him getting eaten by the Sarlaccs. You know, It wasn't actually him; it was an accident. Because there's a theory he was drunk from Jabba's palace, why he looked so sloppy in Return of the Jedi. But that's just a theory. But my theory is he hates Jedi, and the second Mando and him meet, they might have a cool little reunion. Like, hey, I'm a Mandalorian. They might have a backstory and have a little bit of a connection. The second he sees Baby Yoda and sees and might bring that PTSD, like he looks like Yoda, he's involved with the Jedi, he might be like, oh, I'm gonna kill this little motherfucker. And then Mando is gonna be like, no, this is my baby, and they're gonna have like a little bit of a fight over that. I think that's where they're going with that.
Okay, I can see that. I know this is Star Wars and people get excited, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade or whatever. It's just that tag at the end of the episode when he's looking over at the sand people, like I could not give a shit. I was just like, okay, but either way, I think your theory's good, and I think it would be fair to say that. I mean, he watched Mace Windu cut his dad's head off, right?
Yeah.
And he is, he is scarred by that. So I get it. Yep, I'm with it.
All right, cool. You got any thoughts? Toddy's not been.
I unfortunately don't have a theory because I am behind. And
she is behind. She's only watched season 1. She's behind. I'm on there every Friday watching it, but she got to catch up. And every week we talk about it. She's pretty much caught up without watching it. But yeah, we're gonna go on to the next subject. The next subject is we're gonna skip that one until we're gonna save that one for last. But I do want to talk about the perfect Thanksgiving meal. So next week we are not going to be doing the show because of Thanksgiving. Spend some time with your family. Talk to them. Don't talk politics though. This is good. This is the wrong year to talk politics, especially at the dinner table, because somebody might get stabbed. But I want to talk about something that's probably going to make a lot of you guys hungry though. What do you guys think the perfect Thanksgiving meal is? We're going to start with Toddy. Toddy, what do you think the perfect Thanksgiving meal is?
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
It's one of mine. It's after Halloween.
I just really love food.
Facts.
And then it's Halloween. But yeah, unfortunately, candy's just not as good. So, for me, my number one thing that I have to have every year is my mom's sweet potato. I don't know what we call it. There's a debate every year about what it should be called. Some people call it pudding. Some people call it casserole. It's not really either one of those things. It's not baked in a dish.
Just for context, her mother is white, pudding. So of course.
But it's basically potatoes mixed with butter.
That's why she's giving all these weird names for sweet potato pie. But go ahead.
It's not pie. It's not any of the things. That's why
it's sweet potato in bushes, and she adds raisins and shit. I don't know what
raisins.
Tell you,
I'm just kidding.
But you don't want to hear it. That's fine.
Listening. I'm sorry, boo. I was just giving context of why are they doing so much? Why is this black woman doing all this? I'm like, no, hold your horses. It's not what you think it is.
So it's sweet potatoes mashed with butter and marshmallows, basically, all mixed together, and you do it while it's hot, so all the marshmallows just mix in together, and that's literally it. You can eat it hot, you can eat it cold. It's great.
It sounds great though. Yeah.
You've had it before.
I have.
It's delicious.
The second you said the marshmallows, I was like, oh, okay, I'm having flashbacks. This is
it's good. Great. It's my must-have every single year, no matter what. You can literally pull it out of the fridge and be like, this is just as good as it was warm. It doesn't matter. It's good either way. That's my must-have. When it comes to turkey, it has to be fried.
Okay, fried turkey.
Man, you are speaking my language tonight, because yams are my favorite, and I love you. Stealing my thunder here.
So she said,
love it fried.
She said fried turkey and sweet potato pudding.
Yeah, pudding casserole. I guess she usually calls it pudding. It's definitely not a casserole because it's not baked in a dish with anything else.
So those two are a must. Anything else?
Those are my musts. I mean, there's other things I guess that she typically makes every year, but those are my I
those
have
are
to have those things. Everything else I can Oh, actually, sorry. One other thing. My dad's potato casserole. That one we don't debate what it is. It is a casserole. But it's like hash browns.
Okay. Oh, I've had this. Yeah.
It's also very good, right?
It is good. It is good.
With
it can use a little bit more seasoning.
Man,
but it is good. It is good.
Dog, don't get in trouble with me on this phone tonight, dog. You got to be there with your lady, dog. I ain't gonna be able to help you. You know what
I do.
He on his own. But it's basically hash browns and sour cream, and I don't know. There's a bunch of other things in there, and then it's topped with cornflakes, and then it's baked.
Yeah.
So it's really I don't know. It's really creamy and has a really, really nice texture in the middle, but it's also crunchy because the cornflakes on top. So it's a really, really good balance of
for sure
everything. So
Alex in the chat. Alex in the chat says fried turkey, mac cheese, potato salad, and pecan pie. We have another one. Sweet potato pie is the GOAT. Facts.
Yes, it is.
Pumpkin pie is a travesty. Absolutely, I definitely agree. Sweet potato pie all day. Catfish at Thanksgiving is a must. Ooh, this is a black man for real. What's going on, Izzy? All right, so
that sounds good.
So Kevin, what is your must for Thanksgiving?
So man, I'm a traditionalist, and I'm gonna say this: having spent Thanksgiving in some places that I wouldn't recommend on anybody. I've had some weird meals out there, right? From traveling and being just stuck in the armpit of the damn world at times. So I'm a traditionalist, right? So Toddy was saying, you know, again, I'm more of a candied yam type guy. I haven't had the casserole, the dish that we would call a casserole that she's talking about that her mom makes or whatever, or we would, you know, debate it. Typically, I just do the candy yams or whatnot. I'm a fried turkey guy through and through. I'm one of those people that you can brown a turkey, you can do all this. White meat turkey is just dry as fuck, and that's just the way it is. But I'm more of a dark meat, you know, turkey type of guy. I don't do collard greens on Thanksgiving. I'm a collard green fan now.
That was my one thing that I missed. I was thinking of it as soon as you started talking. I was like, oh, I have to have that too.
All right, it was nice having you on, Kevin, man. Izzy says respect the classic yams. Go on. You've lost a little bit of my respect, but go ahead.
We do green beans, man, at Thanksgiving, because collard greens on the menu, that's a little bit different. See, my grandmother, who you know, the matriarch of the family, she's passed on now. She was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right? So you had a half black, half Creole woman in the kitchen cooking. So it's a little bit different. So
great.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different for us coming up. But gotta have a dressing, and we don't do stuffing. I don't know what this stuffing shit is, but we don't do that. It's got to be dressing. You know what I mean? Cornbread dressing. Yeah, it can't be.
I don't like it no matter what you call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gotta have the gravy.
Gotta have the gravy. Yes. Gravy is very important.
Yeah. Matter of fact, gravy is the thing that ties the whole meal together. If your gravy is trash, get the plate out of here, right? You know what I mean? So I've had some Thanksgiving with my wife's family, and what happens is the food is always good. But you know how when you go eat with somebody else's family, some of the greatest hits that your family has aren't the same.
Yeah.
You know, so when I go eat with her family, nobody there likes candy yams. So when we go do the holidays or whatever, I'm in there like, God damn, man, this food is great. But it's a big hole in my plate, right?
Yeah. Do you ever like bring a can like and you just go in the bathroom and just
Man, look, I just try to keep that shit light. I don't want to insult nobody. You try to keep the in-laws happy. Like, I'm in and out of here. Let me eat. And I'll handle this shit later. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, I feel you. No, I try to keep the in-laws happy too, but I do bring some hot sauce. That's all I got to say about that.
My dog.
So Izzy in the chat says you got to butterfly your turkey and bake it in the oven. And
what is an oven bag?
An oven. Oh, I've seen that. My mom does the oven bag. But she does the cooking, so I can't really explain much about. I'm not a professional turkey maker. I do love your dad's deep frying of the turkey. But my mom is an oven bag person.
Yeah, the oven bag joint helps keep moisture in. Like if you do roast and potatoes and stuff, and the oven bags are dope. I just don't like white meat turkey, man. It just is what it is.
I like both. I do love turkey. It's not my favorite meat, but like, you know, it's turkey. It's
better than ham.
Turkey's good. And her dad does make a good turkey, but it's not my favorite Thanksgiving. Like,
do you like ham better?
I do like ham better. Actually,
get out.
I do like ham better.
Get out of your own show.
Judgment. I know. That's been my time. I do prefer ham over turkey. I will not apologize for that. But turkey's not bad. I don't hate turkey. But my perfect meal is got to be, of course, amazing mac and cheese. Of course, it's got to be topped really well and seasoned well. It's got to be baked like a motherfucker. It can't be that craft shit. And then I'm going to say greens because, you know, F green beans. What the hell is that about, brother? We do have both, but I'm going to go for greens every time, especially your mom's greens.
Yeah, they're good.
And my mom makes this broccoli casserole. Like it's got broccoli, ham, cheese, and it's topped with like these onion chips on top of it.
No doubt.
Like my Frenchies. That is probably my favorite meal. Like if I was there to ever kill somebody and be on death row and they say, hey, you got one meal, that's going to be on there because my mom kills it. She probably wouldn't make it for me because she'd probably be upset that I killed somebody, but it would be on. I would definitely have them try to duplicate it. I do like that. King of the Hill disagrees with me. He says turkey over ham. That's his opinion. I mean, yeah. Well, so it's 3-1. You guys win, but I mean, I'm still gonna eat turkey as soon as it's in my plate. I'm gonna eat it, but I'm gonna be munching on that ham first, for sure. Anything else we guys missed that you want to talk about? Of course, sweet potato pie is a must. Sweet potato pie over pumpkin pie. I don't know if anybody's from this. Most of my viewers are from the South, but anybody from the North that are very confused about this conversation, come down South. We'll give you diabetes. We got it.
No doubt.
They might
come with 2 legs, leave with 1. For sure.
Is there anything else?
Is there anything else that we missed on this conversation?
I think we got it, man.
I
think we got it. I love and respect all of your answers. Seriously.
Mississippi Mud.
Mississippi Mud. Yes, that's another one. Now make you go blind from sugar. Yeah. So we're gonna play a quick game of One's Gotta Go. And if you guys don't know how this goes, it's when we give subjects of things that are great and popular, and you gotta just one has to leave. So I'm gonna let's let Kevin start because I'm really interested in what he's going to ask us. Kevin, give us our scenario of which gotta go. One's gotta go.
Okay, so I had another one, but you said something earlier which let me know that wasn't the right way to go. So I'm going to give you one here that I think you both would enjoy. So one has got to go.
All right.
Martin or the Fresh Prince?
Ooh, that was actually one of our questions.
It was.
Yeah.
I came up with that one too.
That was it.
Okay.
We had actually I actually added 3 to that. I put Martin, Fresh Prince, and Wayne Brothers. But I'm glad you asked this question because it's a very divisive question. A lot of people have this debate. I'm gonna go on record and say Martin's got to go, bro. And I know a lot of people disagree.
Hey,
with
it's
that.
been real. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I've been Kevin Garlington, and I gotta go because I cannot believe you just said that shit.
Okay, so this is
sorry. I'm gonna make you double mad. I'm going to agree.
She's going to agree. So I'll explain this. And I don't hate Martin. Martin's a very funny show, very groundbreaking, and Martin Lawrence is one of the kings of comedy. And that show is amazing. He has all these great characters that he plays off. Hilarious. With that being said though, Fresh Prince has more substance. That show helped me grow up a little bit. Of course, the lessons from Uncle Phil, the scenarios that I can relate to. I couldn't relate to a lot of Martin's scenarios. I'm sorry. The guy was just everywhere with it.
Okay,
but
I can respect. That's actually a respectable answer. I can respect that. Yeah,
but I would say Martin's funnier. Don't get it twisted. But as a show that I would like to binge watch, and my son loves it as well. I could just relate more to the character of Will Smith, and of course all the other ones. Like who doesn't know a Hillary or a Carlton? You know, I don't know a Shaniqua or whatever the heck Martin's playing in that show. Or all that.
Oh my brother, I know every character on that show.
I try to stay away from some of those characters. But no, I get you. I do know.
Some of them are in my family. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't stay away.
You can't, right?
Right. King of the Hill says Fresh Prince stays. So you are the only one that is thinking this. Wow.
I am. And you know what? I'm the type of man who loves to be on the island by himself. I am castaway in this bitch, so I'm ready. You know what I mean?
But your opinion is actually probably more popular than ours. We just have a lot in the chat that are agreeing with us, but I think your opinion is actually what a lot of people would say.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. This is a hard question, right? So essentially, let's put it out there. We're splitting hairs here, right? We're talking about 2 great shows, and maybe somebody swings a little bit more in one way than they swing in the other way. The way you explained it for you as a young man watching the show when it was on TV, yeah, absolutely. Will is more relatable. But for me and kind of what was going on, Martin resembled a lot of the black men of his age that were in my life at the time. So I kind of had like Martin, not necessarily like this guy that's this character or whatever. I kind of had like Martin in my life or whatever. So maybe it's a little bit of a personal thing to me or whatnot. Just kind of seeing, a young man kind of thriving and kind of going through and on the cusp of getting married and these beautiful black women that are in the show that are successful and all this and that. And
Gina's the perfect woman. Seriously. Like I watched Martin thinking I need a woman like Gina. Seriously.
Hey man, you know what? I was the same way when I was younger and I go back and watch it now and I'm like, damn, Pam is fine. So I don't know.
No, Pam is dope. I prefer actually. I don't know her character on Everybody Hates Chris, but man, that's everybody's mama right there.
Yeah, she's everybody's mom, man. But no, man, Martin just spoke to me in a way, and I'll tell you something else that really hit home with me. So I didn't know this at the time. I'm talking about me looking back on it now. Martin was somebody who wore HBCU gear all the time, right?
He did.
So when I got old enough to put in for college or whatever. Of course, A Different World was a big inspiration for me, but I went to an HBCU. Like, I knew I was going to go to an HBCU. I knew it. But by Martin wearing those clothes that he wore, it made me more interested. I was like, oh, what's
it made it cool, yeah.
Yeah, and then I would go to the mall, and I was like, I want that shirt Martin had on, and I would look, and I would ask questions or whatever. And people would say, no, well, that school's in Atlanta, or this school's over here, this and that, or whatever. So I was learning stuff or whatever. So it just kind of spoke to me in a way. But I will say this. Hey man, Martin does not have an equivalent for the episode where Will's dad wouldn't take him with him in 18.
Hell no.
He has no equivalent.
The closest thing is like when they broke up for a little bit, but no, he's got nothing with that. But to your point about the HBCU point, we got to give props to Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show on that. I feel like he made college like fun, of course, and then
absolutely.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did that as well. Like Carlton, of course, his nerdy ass promoted a lot, and they all did go to college. It was great.
They were having a blast out there.
And there's one in the chat from Izzy that says the Wayne brothers got to go, and I will actually. This is another unpopular opinion. I think Wayne brothers is better than Martin too. I always thought I respect the Wayne. Later years they got a little corny to me, but like in their prime, within Living Color, the Wayne brothers, and a lot of their movies and stuff, I've always respected that hustle.
Hey, Toddy, it's okay if you want to pack your bag and get the fuck up out of here. It's okay to pack your shit, because I'm gonna tell you right now. Now, when I answered the question, I was strictly answering it between Martin and the Fresh Prince. Out of those three, if I had to pick, get the Wayans brothers the fuck out my face.
What's going on, JJ Smooth? What's going on? A Different World, love that show. Yeah, The Different World was definitely. I mean, it wasn't as funny as Martin, but it's one of those shows that made education fun. Seriously, like you want to have these type of scenarios when you're in college, right there. So I'm like, what's going on, Reggie? Thank you for coming through in the chat. I was recording. Reggie's got a new show coming out with some new guys coming up. So definitely check that out. The Silver Sight on YouTube. He's got some nerdy stuff coming out. But yeah, that was a good question. That was a good one. I'm glad, and that's weird that we had similar ones got to go. So I got to throw a different one at you. All right, go for it. Here's one. All right, one actor's got to go: Leonardo DiCaprio, Denzel Washington, or Tom Hanks.
Ooh, man, you're gonna have to get Leo out of here.
That's like the love of his life. So.
Leo's
got.
Why is that? Why is Leo? And I would love to see a movie with Leo and Tom Hanks, because I love Catch Me If You Can with Leo and Tom Hanks isn't Catch Me If You Can. I'm sorry, I love that movie. I would love to see a movie with Leo and Denzel. I've always wanted to see that. But why Leo over these two? Not saying that's the wrong answer.
So again, we got a conversation here where we're splitting hairs, right? So if we're talking about actors, we're talking about a 10, a 9.9, and a 9.8, right? So we're splitting hairs. I am solely basing this off of people who play roles that have spoken to me, right? That's what I'm solely basing it off of. This is not based off of skill, because the question is impossibly hard. So this is not based off of skill or anything like that. I'm just talking about Denzel and Tom having those roles that really spoke to me a little bit more than some of the roles that Leo played. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that those guys are leaps and bounds ahead of Leo. No fucking way. So we just splitting hairs, right? That's all it is.
All three of these guys are 5-star actors.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would not argue with that at all.
JJ Smooth says Tom Hanks. Ooh, that one hurts too.
All of them hurt my soul.
All of them. Yeah.
Think about any of them not existing.
Man, you know what? This is going to be weird for me to say.
Are you going to say Leo too?
I might have to say Leo too. As much as I love Leo, I think he's an amazing actor, but Leo's roles don't speak to me, like he was saying, as much as Denzel and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, big, spoke to me. Every movie he's done with Toy Story spoke to me. Yeah. I mean, the Terminal, Castaway, like these are, oh, man. Denzel, though, like I fell in love immediately. Like, of course, he's got the old school stuff like Philadelphia, but I love Training Day is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Training Day, and that movie right there is just like, the way he switched it up, so gangster, dope, so switch. But I love Catch Me If You Can. I love Titanic. His role in Django Unchained, man, he outshined the whole cast. But it was a hard decision though. Like those three are probably my favorite actors. Like if I was Jamie Foxx is one of them too. He's on my top 5 list. But that was not easy. That was not easy.
No, that was not an easy question at all. Like I said, we're splitting hairs at this point.
What was yours? What was yours, Toddy? Don't think you're out of this.
Damn it. I got so close to not having to answer the question.
They ain't gonna ask me. They ain't gonna ask me. No, hell no. What is your answer? What is your answer to this?
I'm sorry, Leo has to stay.
Leo stays. Who's going? Tom Hanks or Denzel Washington? Watch out now.
Some of my favorite movies are Leo movies. Like Shutter Island is one of my favorite movies. Is a good one,
yeah.
Okay.
Inception. Oof. Tom Hanks don't have an Inception.
By the way, right? All these are dope. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I can see why they don't speak to you though. They're more fun to watch.
I'm just gonna cry.
You're just gonna cry.
I don't know.
She's about to say Denzel, y'all. It's coming.
I think so. I think
that's what I'm gonna have to say.
You're gonna go Denzel. Oh my goodness, Denzel. So Leo and Tom Hanks are staying. Denzel's gotta go. Oh man. Okay.
I'm not sorry. Actually, take my sorry.
So back. Denzel's gotta go, huh? Denzel's gotta go. I can't do a Denzel impression. You're telling me that Denzel's gotta go. Huh?
He's gotta go.
Disrespectful. We're done. I'm tired of you. All right.
Whatever.
You got another one for me, brother?
So I do, and I'm going to ask you my original one, right?
What's good?
And this is the reason why I was going to ask you this. You had mentioned before that you hadn't really watched all of the Clone Wars. Okay. This may not be a fair one, but let's just ask it anyway. I was going to ask you Obi-Wan or Anakin.
Obi-Wan or okay. Yeah. So is it just those two?
Just those two.
And
this is okay. Okay,
gotta go. Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequel prequel trilogy is probably one of my favorite characters ever.
Got you. And the reason why I asked this question is it on the surface it may seem simple, but I've asked other Star Wars fans this question here, and it kind of tells you what people are with their fandom. So it's simple on the surface, but it kind of lets me know where you are with it, and that's pretty dope. So yeah, I got you.
Are you in agreement with that, or you got a different?
Yeah,
I'm in agreement with it. Toddy, what about you?
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
All right, I'm glad we can all agree on that.
Yeah, we got one we can agree on. But I'll tell you this: the Clone Wars cartoon makes it very, very tricky.
I saw Anakin looked badass in the cartoon. They did him justice.
Yeah, they did him justice. But going from the movies or whatever, I'm with you. So yeah, it was. Yep. So that's cool.
A little bland.
Yeah, he's very bland. Oh my goodness. I got two more for you.
Shoot.
All right. Okay. So one's got to go. Movies / television. So on the same mark. Movies / television, music, or sex. One's got to go.
Ooh, you were talking to. Oh, this is fucked up. This is real fucked up.
Let us know in the chats. Movies, television, or sex. Or movies, sex, or music. One's got to go.
Okay, so sex has got to stay, because if it doesn't, none of this will matter in a couple of years. We all die out anyway. All right, so sex has got to stay
for sure. But Martin, bro, I'm just kidding.
right. Realistically, man, and I know there are gonna people who are gonna listen to this who are gonna cringe or this or that or whatever. When was the last time that somebody talked about a record or an album or recording the way somebody talked about Endgame?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Because there are not endless YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Like the way we dissect these movies or whatever, and the conversation that comes about, and empires have been built, media empires have been built on movies and television. So music's got to go.
He's got a point, because like when it comes to, especially our world, when we listen to hip hop, I think the last time like we got excited about an album was probably like either Kendrick's Damn or Kendrick's Black To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay.
And of course, Jay-Z was doing his thing a little bit before that. But last time, every time Kendrick or Cole drops something, I get excited. But like you're right. I think people are more excited about singles than albums. But movies though, I think I was gonna actually say movies, but you actually gave me a fair point about music right now. I could probably change my mind if they change things up, because music always speaks to my soul. Reggie says music. JJ Smooth says movies. Okay. The best films have great soundtracks, but I'm saying music though. There wouldn't be any soundtracks with these movies. So you're going with music, right, Kevin?
Yes, I'm going with music, man. And I know that's a tough one. And just to tell y'all how tough it is, I was a fucking music major in college. Like I'm telling you, I am betraying my people right now.
Wow, you sell out.
Yeah.
Traitor.
What about you, Scotty?
It's gonna have to be movies.
Movies. Oh wow.
Man. I love movies, but like
I was torn. I was actually gonna say movies too.
I don't know. Music like takes me to a happy place that as much as I love movies, like can't get me there in the same way that music can, or in the same like time that music can. So I don't think I can survive without it. Like I would just die. Like
I got you.
Yeah. Music can go. his comments. He said music can go to hell.
He said music can go to hell. I'm not giving up movies or TV. I love stories being told. So I guess sex got to stay. You know, we what if one's got to stay? We're like, well, I guess sex. Yeah, I'll go my whole life. We could just imagine that shit in our heads. Like,
right.
hum a tune or something.
I don't think it would be so bad. Like if you've never had sex, I think you would be willing to let it go. But I think once you've had it, I think that there's no chance that was going anywhere.
Yeah, they're probably. I mean, I got almost 4,000 subscribers. There's got to be a couple who are like, I have not ever had sex in my life. That can get the hell out of here.
Right. Get sex the hell out of here. Right. You poor bastard.
JJ says, I can listen to a song 1,000 times over. So he seems like he agrees with what you're saying, Toddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parties, large events, exactly.
Like there would be no vibe. They just all have to leave.
It is a good point. Like music literally sets the vibe. So I actually do.
For literally every place we go.
That's an excellent point, man. No, you're right. That's an excellent point. I didn't think about that. That's dope. That's an excellent point.
I'm actually, you know, I'm teeter-tottering. You know, that is a very hard question. I might have to say movies now, I'll tell you the truth, because
I can feel
music is very timeless. Like, I don't know if I can go without Michael Jackson ever. I don't know if I can go without Prince. I don't know if I can go without Marvin Gaye. I don't know if I can go without Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas.
I don't think you could either.
These people have literally like set the tone for my life.
From being like on the outside and like knowing you, like as much as you love movies, the way that you talk about music is like a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I do definitely have more.
I can literally ask you like a question and you're like, oh, da 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 da. And you can spit off a million different things about me, especially if it's hip hop.
I'm a hip hop encyclopedia. Yeah.
All this knowledge that half the people in the world probably don't even know. So it'd be weird if you didn't.
Okay, movies gotta go. And then the guy that was a music major sold his own people out. You know,
sold them out.
There's your tax dollars at work right there.
right.
You got another one for me, man?
You know, I do. And
all right,
I actually have. And this was a little bit simple. But I'm going through the shit right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out here. Hot or cold? And I'm talking temp in the house. So, this is why I'm bringing this up. My mom just had surgery. It's hot as fuck in here right now because she's freezing. So I'm like, dude, I would rather be cold. I'd rather freeze to death than burn up to death. So hot or cold? Which is it?
Are we okay? So we talking about in general, or like how we would want to die?
In general, just in general, hot or cold. Yeah, right? I don't want to be morbid. I don't want to be morbid, right? So just in general.
Okay,
it's the controversy. You can do whatever.
It's got to be cold because I would like at least we have sheets and stuff to cover up. Like so
you want cold to go?
No, hot's got to go. Hot's got to go, and I'll explain because I'm West Indian. A lot of people don't know this. I'm half West Indian. My mom's full. So we go to the West Indian island of Anguilla all the time. Okay. That is a different type of hot. And it's like literally I'm with my whole family and the thought of going naked just to survive. Always picture me just pulling my pants off, taking my pants and shirt off in front of my aunt. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm hot as hell. It's 190 degrees outside. What's wrong with y'all? Why do you stay here? It's so sticky and hot. It's ridiculous. I hate the cold as much as anybody. Sometimes she knows I complain about the cold. Like, put the heat up. Why is it so cold?
So I thought that you were gonna say cold because
you did, but you've never been to Anguilla to know that heat. It sucks. It's so bad you can barely breathe.
I thought we were going to disagree.
No. Yeah, he can get the hell out of here with that. Yeah, shit.
No, hot's gotta
freeze to death.
Like, I have to have like the AC running and a fan going to sleep. If it's not happening, I'm not sleeping. I'm gonna be uncomfortable. I'm gonna be tossing and turning, and he doesn't like that.
It's true.
Every single night, he's like, why is it so cold in here?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Turn the fan off. Turn the AC up.
Yeah. But then when I think about Anguilla,
I just can't stand being hot. I hate it. It makes me
now. So I think we're all in agreement there. I got one more if we got time.
You there? Sorry.
Oh, can you hear me?
No, I can.
Okay, yeah. So I think we're all in agreement there, and I got one more if we got time. I don't want to mess with the floor.
Oh yeah, I got one, and you can give us one more. Kiana said, Kiana says hot has to go. The house needs to be cold outside.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Needs to go outside. Let's see here. Reggie says, I laughed my ass off. I'd rather be cold. You can always get more clothes. That's exactly what I said. Once it's hot here. So yeah, you can always go, even if you're naked, that's all. Now, exactly. And then of course, since sex is not going anywhere, we can heat each other up for sure.
There's literally like nothing that you can do about the hot except a fan, and that really doesn't help very much.
It really doesn't.
So
if you guys have ever been like to Miami and then south of Miami to the islands and stuff like that, you will understand. Like it's cool to visit, but man, it's a different world out there.
Yeah, I do agree with Kiana though. If it's cold outside though.
Yeah.
No, like when we went to Chicago.
Oh, Chicago! No, Chicago's a different.
We went to Chicago in February.
Yeah.
This year, and it was like 0 when we stepped off the plane or something like that.
Below 0, it was like,
and it was the most painful thing I've ever experienced. I thought the wind slapped me across my face. It hurt.
Every time I exhaled, I felt like icicles down my throat. I was like, man, I'm going to die.
It was absolutely awful. I don't think it got above like 13 degrees or something while we were there, and we were there for like a few days.
But we still got the cover up, so
and I left my coat. I left my coat in Florida.
Yeah.
So I had to buy a coat. That was crazy.
All right, so here's my next question. My last question, and you got one after this. So one's got to go. The movie Logan, Dark Knight, or Winter Soldier? Which one's got to go?
You son of a bitch. Dark Knight, Winter Soldier, or Logan?
Or Logan, yes. Probably some of the best comic book movies ever.
Logan's got to go.
Oh my god! Ah!
Logan's got to go.
No.
Say that one more time. I thought you said Logan. Did you?
Logan's got to go.
He said Logan.
So did Reggie.
Oh my god, Logan!
I'm gonna tell you why.
This is not my choice, but let's hear why.
Again, we are splitting hairs here. 3 great comic book movies or whatever. Yep. The reason why I picked Logan is because I have the most beef with that universe. Okay.
Well, okay, so yeah, you got to look at Logan like it's its own story because it's not tied in with anything.
You do, but at the same time, the problems that I have with that universe bleed over into Logan, which I think the movie is good enough to overcome those problems. I'm just saying that, given the 3 movies that we have, I think one of the greatest, villain performances we've ever seen is in The Dark Knight. So I can't even begin to go there. And I also think that the most slept on performance in a superhero movie is in The Dark Knight as well, which is Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face. That is the most slept on performance. I think that nobody talks about it because he got. I mean, because Heath Ledger was there, right?
Exactly.
And when you talk about Winter Soldier, that's probably my number 1 Marvel movie.
It's a lot of people's number 1 Marvel movie.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like, man, I don't even want to. I'll start waxing poetic about that movie if y'all let me. And I don't want to do that.
No, it's really good. So and I'm actually going to say I'm going to say I'm not going to say Dark Knight. I'm going to say Winter Soldier. But it's one of my favorite movies, and this is why I'm going to say it. It's a very good movie. It's one of those movies that it's timeless. You can rewatch. Probably one of the best. If it's not in your top 5 like comic book movies ever, then we're not having this conversation. But
sure.
Out of all 3 of these movies, I feel like this is the main one you have to watch other movies to understand. You do kind of need to see the first one to understand who Bucky is. Now, yes, it can work as a standalone if you have no idea, but like you kind of will be more confused. Like The Dark Knight, I feel like you don't really have to see the first one to understand. I feel like Logan, you really don't need to see all the other hit or miss movies before it. I really think
really don't.
It's a standalone movie. I feel like that's the only reason I'm going to go with Winter Soldier is because you kind of don't know these characters. And they're interacting a little bit more than like Logan. Logan is just like, hey, this is a guy in a wheelchair and he's sick. We understand it. You don't even need to know his name. Obviously, everybody knows it's Professor Xavier, but for a casual viewer that's never seen it, I think they would understand it a little bit more than Winter Soldier. Disagree?
Okay. I mean, from that standpoint, I don't think I can really disagree with you. From that standpoint, I just think that we're attacking this from 2 different sides of a coin here. But again, man, I was throwing you some softballs tonight, man. You've been going straight for the fucking jugular with these questions, man. Like, golly, man, like you really making me get down to my nerves.
Did you think I was playing?
No,
did you think this was a game?
Hey, man, clearly it's not. And again. I don't even want to open that can of worms about going into Logan or whatever, because if I do that, it's gonna sound like I'm tearing the movie down. And I absolutely love that movie. And I don't want to do that.
So, yeah, and you got Reggie in the chat that does agree with you. I did not think
he's hating on Logan right now.
I did not think that people would say Logan. I thought that was going to be the one that would stay, and they would debate the other two. Toddy, what is your opinion? I know Toddy
Logan has to stay. Yeah, because Logan is probably my favorite superhero movie.
Okay.
Although I'm not as big of a superhero, supervillain nerd as any of the other people here talking or in the chat. But yeah, I loved that movie. Probably has to be the Winter Soldier as well.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna go with Dark Knight because I don't think. Did you even finish that?
So no. However, I know how much it's done for like the culture and progressing all of what we have now because of that movie. So I feel like I can't get rid of it.
I agree
because it would like completely fuck up everything else that we have. So that would be my reasoning for that. And I know like it's just obviously like a very beloved movie, but that's not really because like I personally like it or not. It's just like what I know that it's done for the culture.
Okay.
So that's my reasoning for not getting rid of that. And then The Winter Soldier, like it was a good movie. I don't know.
It just didn't stick, huh? I love Winter Soldier.
I don't know, like
it made me love Captain America because I didn't really have a lot
Marvel movies, but I don't find myself like in love with any of them.
Sure.
And I know that that's maybe controversial for a lot of people that really, really, really love it.
No, there's a lot of people that agree with the tone. Like a lot of people don't like that jokey joke shit.
I would rather have more like Logan, something more dark, something a little bit more like human feeling, I guess. And that's what I got out of that versus.
Reggie said Toddy and Ian could go with Logan too. That is hilarious. Absolutely not. We're not going anywhere. Reggie can go on somewhere with that bullshit. Logan's an amazing movie. How dare you? How dare both of you guys? That's disrespecting me on my own show. How dare you guys? All right, brother. What is your last one?
Okay, this will be a quick one, but I got to ask you this because Toddy had made a point to say how much of a hip hop head you are, and I am somebody who loves lyricists. So I'm going to ask you this question. One's got to go. Nas, Eminem, or Black Thought?
Okay, so I respect all of them lyrically. I'm just a little bit more invested in two of them. But I do respect this guy's lyricism, and I think he's a very underrated artist. But Black Thought has to go. But I do think more people should listen to him. He's definitely a well-spoken person for the culture and everything, just uplifting black souls. But I'm a little bit more invested in Eminem and Nas. But if listen to Eminem's last album, Music to Be Murdered By. He has a collaboration with Black Thought that is an amazing track. But Black Thought's got to go, and it was not easy, but I think though in a battle, all three of these together, I think Nas would actually come a little bit short when it comes to the lyrics. But Nas has classic albums that I just can't live without.
Unfortunately, and it's almost like Nas.
I didn't say Nas. Nas
Ian
has to stay. Latrell, how dare you? That's hilarious. This man just made up a middle name for me.
That's hilarious.
Look, man. What I'm about to say here, this is hard for me to say because if you'd have asked 12 or 13-year-old Kev a question similar to this, I was a huge Nas fan. I can tell you where I was at the first time I heard the first verse that I ever heard from Nas. Like I'm telling you, Nas got to go.
What?
Nas
You've
got to
said
go.
Some controversial things all night, brother.
Yes, I have, and I told
you've been crossing the line a little bit.
I like being on the island by myself, and this is the thing.
He's living the
I know it's controversial. Yes, absolutely. That's my dog. I told y'all I ride with Tom. No,
you are on the right show.
It's controversial because Black Thought does not have the catalog that Nas or M has when you talk about solo work. I'm not talking about with the Roots or whatever.
Yeah.
I am just telling you, year in and year out, I catch this guy on mixtapes and freestyling and doing this and that or whatever, and I'm going off lyricism at this point, not the commercial catalog.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I think he's one of the only MCs that could go in there and stand toe to toe with Eminem.
No, I agree. That's why I
Now,
said I think that Nas would
yeah,
probably come up short in this battle.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. So we on the same wavelength with that or whatever. But I can tell you when It Was Written came out and Nas, like I said, a lot of that shit right now. I'm damn near 40 years old. I can rap them verses like that shit just came out yesterday. But
sure.
I gotta ride with my boy, man. So I'm gonna have to say that, and I'm gonna give Eminem his credit. I'm gonna throw an honorable mention out there too. I think we sleep on Busta Rhymes sometime too.
Oh no, I think this year he's been getting a lot of his flowers. Busta Rhymes is a beast.
He's a beast, man. But again,
I was not feeling his album that came out a couple weeks ago though. But like he's got so much love and respect and so much like hits that who gives a shit? Like Buster is always gonna be like a god in my opinion.
Yeah, that album sounds like it's 1998. I think that's some of the production kind of let me down, but the verses are top notch. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Right on. And Reggie, he is not liking you right now. Reggie said, "Don't ask him back on this show no more." Whatever that noise. Suggested. Matter of fact, drop your location. I'm gonna find some black forces, and I'm on my way. So this guy right here is upset. My cousin Nick's in the chat right now. Black Thought, Eminem, and Nas. That was actually the question that was just asked. Well, who's got to go in your opinion, Nick? So I said Black Thought, but I do feel like Black Thought is a better rapper, like lyricist, than Nas. But Nas just has more classics. He's giving his props to Busta. But yeah, wow, that was, oh boy, you are brave for saying that one out loud.
Absolutely. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm going off lyricism and kind of if we were sitting in a cipher and we was under a street lamp or whatever, who I think would win it. And I'm telling you, I think Nas would come up third. But I'm not sure.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news. Nick, my cousin, actually agrees with you. He says Nas gotta go. Oh my goodness. I've lost a little respect for him as well. Nas got oh my goodness. Y'all better go back to the drawing board. Y'all better get It Was Written. Y'all better get Nasir. Oh my goodness. God dang. Yeah. Oh, what? Where am I? What year is it? Okay. All right. Well, it's okay. It's okay. This is what the controversy is. We here to have these uncomfortable conversations, whether you like to or not. So yes, that one made me uncomfortable. Holy crap. That was probably the biggest bombshell right there. I really appreciate that question. Boy, we are going to have a big conversation tomorrow. I can tell you that right now.
Hey, cats want to put the black forces on and come see me. That mean I stirred up some feelings there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, not that I'm promoting violence, but I don't blame him. That one does trigger. That's a triggering answer right there.
But you know
I get it.
You can't say stuff like that if you ain't got a set of hands. So you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Ooh, okay. I respect that.
We just joking and having fun, y'all. We just having fun.
Oh, absolutely. No, Reggie's a clown. He's just joking. So let's get to our main event before we head out, man. Our main event. We want to talk about our celebrity encounters. So the reason we're having this conversation is because the other day I was on the phone with Kevin. And he was giving me this very interesting story about his encounter with Lil Jon and everything that you've seen on television and in music videos and what Dave Chappelle was making fun of is basically the same character. So. But that's a different story. We could talk about that off camera. If anybody wants to inbox me, we can talk about that a little bit. But we're going to talk about a couple of our celebrity encounters. Kevin, you actually were a promotion. You did promotion, right?
Yeah, I did. So I was a marketing manager for Crunk Juice. I worked for Red Bull too, but for Crunk Juice. And I have a pretty crazy story from 2007. When I was the marketing manager and we were sponsoring the Ozone Awards in Miami. And we were the sponsor for the Green Room, which means every celebrity that came to the show came through the Green Room and I was in there. Now, I want to be upfront about my job and what I was doing. I am just a marketing dude. I didn't have a whole bunch of money and shit. I'm just there representing my company to make sure that we got what we paid for. So when I rub shoulders with these people, I'm not their friend or I'm somebody that's kicking it with them. I'm just the promotions guy that's there. So I want to frame it up right because I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued about who I am and what I've done. So it's 2007. We in Miami. We are sponsoring this green room, right? So in the green room is where celebrities get to chill out before they go out, or they can come get something to eat, something to drink, or whatever. I got 2 bars in the green room, and we're at this convention center, civic center, in Miami, and they opened a concession stand. So we had this area blocked off. It's got curtains. You can't see in there. We've got 2 bars and a concession stand open where the people are serving them food. They're not. It's kind of like a mix of like chili dogs or whatever. It was kind of whack. The food was kind of whack, to be honest, but we weren't in charge of that.
Right.
So we get to the event, and what you have to do is you have to walk through the green room area to get to where the celebrities are sitting on the floor. Okay, so this is the time. I'll start this story off, and I'll try to be as brief as possible. I can be long-winded. So, the first celebrity people to come through, Jermaine Dupri's there, and this is when he's dating Janet Jackson. Okay.
Yeah, I bet he was like what 5'2", and Janet was at least normal height.
No, he like 4'11". So they getting ready to come through. And we have security at the door at the first curtain to let people in. So security's letting us know who's coming. He's like, hey, JD and Janet getting ready to come through. Okay, no problem. So we're in there, we're chilling, and all of a sudden the curtain moves, and 6 of the biggest brothers I've ever seen in my life come through. They got big suits on and bow ties. It's the Nation of Islam.
Oh, wow.
Now, these brothers don't eat pork. These are the biggest beef-fed brothers you've ever seen. They come through, and one guy was standing there, and I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", about 240. I lift and shit. I am a ant compared to these dudes, right? There was a dude that was about a foot taller than me standing there, and one of the Nation of Islam dudes was like, "Hey, little bro, you're gonna need to move out the way." He put his hand in his chest and just moved this dude like it wasn't shit. I was like, man,
so disrespectful.
It was disrespectful, but you don't need to do nothing about that because that man gonna beat your ass.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Beat you.
Right.
Yeah.
So they come through. Everything is cool. At the time, Wipe Me Down was hot. Fox and Webby and them come through. Now I'm gonna bring them up right here.
06 and 07. Yeah, I'm in the timeline with you.
Right. So the thing about this is, when I say what I'm getting ready to say, people please don't think I'm dissing these folks because I'm not. They had their jewelry on. Supposed to have the diamonds and shit, right? This jewelry like it came from the middle of the mall. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It ain't. And the thing is, when you first look at it, you cool. You're like, okay, they got their jewelry on, they doing their thing or whatever. Fox was there. Webby was there. They came through. They high as hell. The green room smelled like green at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, they walk out. They go get their seats. The next person to come through is Rick Ross. They say, hey, Ross is getting ready to come up. We're in his city. I look out the window. Ross pulls up. They getting out of 5 cars. When Ross's entourage finally assembles, it's 30 of them. Ross comes through, and we getting out the way or whatever. The dreadhead cats, from the Pork and Beans in Miami and all these spots, they in there, right?
What's Ross his name? Gunplay?
Gunplay was with him. All them cats, right? Ross is in there. Ross has on a similar chain to what Fox and Webby and them was wearing, except for Ross shit is real. There was a skylight at the top of the ceiling, which was letting sun in. So Ross was standing there, and the light hit his jewelry and threw a fucking rainbow on the wall. I was like, that's $1 million jewelry. Those are real diamonds, right? So he comes through, and the entourage decide they want to go ahead and chill out. When I tell you, them motherfuckers drunk up everything we had at the goddamn bar. We're 30 minutes into the green room at this point. I'm going in my pocket, giving a run on a credit card, like, hey, man, go get some more booze. We got to do this and that or whatever. So we get Ross and them up out of there. So at one point, I'm standing there. I'm talking to Michael 5000 Watts and Life Jennings. I'm actually talking to these guys. Cool. So we're standing there. We all having a beer.
Nice. Sorry.
Yeah, no doubt. We're having a beer. The show's about to get started. So Fabo and D4L and them come through there.
Wow, you got a lot coming through. Fabo!
Yeah, no doubt. Fabo is pouring down sweat. I mean, just, bro, Fabo like he just jumped out the pool. He is wet. So they up there trying to get him, hey, we need some ice. We need some ice water, whatever. I don't know what he was on. He looked dead at me, right? Bruh, you think I'm allowing I say this shit. He looked dead at me, and right before he got ready to fall, he said, man, I'm geeked up. And damn near passed out. The dude had to catch him. So we giving him water and shit. trying to keep Fabo straight. So they hung out for about 15 minutes and they got in there and sat down. So I go back to talking to. So Michael 5000 Watts is the coolest dude I met at this thing because he's down to earth. Like if you don't know him or know who you talking to, you just think he a dude. So he's standing there talking or whatever. So Life Jennings was like, all right, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I gave him a pound. He went in there. And Michael 5000 Watts looked at me and he said, man, out of everybody we just saw walk through here, because Rich Boy and Polo the Don came through and all them folks. He said, man, out of every hard, quote unquote, rapper that came through here, he said, Life Jennings and Fabo will beat. He said they'll beat the blood out your face. He said these are the two hardest dudes in here.
Now, you know what? I've actually believed. I've heard a lot of R&B artists are actually harder than some of these rappers. I believe that,
bruh. It was crazy. So it wasn't that. You know, I had one, crazy encounter. There's some stuff I won't say on the video that me and you will talk about, right? But
it's all good.
But the thing about it was just to be there in 07 in that green room to see how everybody moved and who had money or who was doing this and that. Again, not knocking anybody for what they had, because them dudes doing better than me. I just got a chance to kind of peel the curtain back and kind of see how these guys are moving and who was doing what. So it was a fun time, man. And we got up out of there, but then right when we was packing up, getting ready to go, somebody got shot. I was like, damn.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, and it was actually down the street. But you know how it is. Anything in proximity to hip hop is getting blamed on hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it was.
And that's terrible for the culture. Man, you just put me down like a memory lane of 07. Like literally everything you were naming, you said Rich Boy, Fabo. I was like, dang, he really is in 07. Like these are the hottest artists at that time. And I love those artists.
I mean, like this was Young Jock was getting VIP treatment then. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the who's who of 07. And again, I'm in the green room hanging out. We making sure everybody's fed and they got this and that or whatever. And it was some real funny shit. But when Michael Watts told me, he was like, man, the two hardest dudes in here, Life Jennings and Fabo. I was like, oh,
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe especially Life Jennings because he's been in and out of prison and stuff like that. So I definitely, I can see that. Ashley Collins in the chat, appreciate you coming through. But is it really worth it to be famous and fucked up at the same time? You won't remember anything. Good question.
Hey, you got a point, but one thing about Fabo, I'm not gonna say in his defense, because I'm not gonna say that you need to be walking around fucked up. If you ever spend any time around people who are musical geniuses, you never know. Now, people are gonna say, "Oh, you're saying Fabo's a musical genius?" Look up his real name and look how many Grammys he has. Look how much shit he ghost wrote.
Oh yeah,
Fabo is on the low. He's a fucking songwriter, man.
A lot of people don't know these ghostwriters that are behind the scenes, like Neo. Holy crap, Neo does a lot of stuff. He writes so much stuff right there. Before I give my actual story, because I'm going to talk about my encounter with Trick Daddy, I do want to say when you said Rick Ross, I did bring up a little bit of a back in 08. That was my senior year in high school. He came to Panama City and he performed all of his hits. Panama City was the hub for like spring break and stuff like that. It was Rick Ross, Pitbull, and DJ Khaled. They came and recorded. I mean, they were on MTVU and they did their performance. If you look this up, I might actually put this in a link. I'm actually in the video where they did a spring break music video, and I'm and I'll have to pinpoint where it is. But there's a scene where he's performing. It wasn't Hustling. I forgot what it was. Oh, I think it was like one of the DJ Khaled songs. And there's a scene where I'm just doing this. And it was senior skip day. I was supposed to be at school. And damn it, why'd you get me on camera? Didn't need to hear all. All right. So I'll talk about my encounter with Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy, in my opinion, he's underlooked when it comes to like one of the kings of the South. I think when people have this conversation, they always bring up T.I., Ludacris. Rick Ross is now in that conversation. Gucci Man, Jeezy, and stuff like that. Outkast, you cannot have the conversation about Southern artists without Outkast. But I think a lot of people do overlook Trick Daddy. Of course, he's no better or less better than any of these guys I just mentioned, but I do think he deserves to be in this conversation because he's one of the Southern artists that put me on Southern hip hop. Take It to the House is a good one. Throw in the Wind. Trick Love the Kids. So whenever he came through Panama City to this like private venue, I was excited. I was like, man, I've been a fan my whole life. I've gotten all of his albums. His album Thug Matrimony is a classic in my opinion. So I got there, and this was I was right after work. I like left work early. I was like, yo, I got tickets to see Trick Daddy. I need to go. So I went there. I was by myself, and when I say this is a club, we know Trick Daddy's not performing at the white clubs. just want to put that in me. So this is like a straight up thug club where you could probably get shot, stabbed, or drug deals, prostitutes, all that stuff. It's not a safe environment that I need to be in, but I risked it all for Trick Daddy because I was a big fan, and I was by myself. Usually I didn't move by myself at that time. I usually would roll with a crew and stuff like that. But you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I thought you okay. So I went by myself, drunk, having a good time. He played all his classics, and I'm crazy drunk. The night's over. People are leaving. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning, and Trick Daddy's upstairs in the VIP section. I'm not I don't have a VIP ticket. I'm not in VIP. I'm just a guy that came to the concert, but I was drunk. And of course, people know when you are drunk, you make terrible decisions. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go up there in VIP. I'm going to go up there and meet Trick Daddy. So I walked. This is actually 2012. It was the same year.
Oh shit!
So I walk up the stairs to go to VIP, and his bodyguard or whoever's in charge of VIP was sitting down on the couch, rolling a blunt and talking to a chick. So in my mindset, I was like, you know what? Just act like you're supposed to be here. Don't just be like, hey, can I come in and see Trick Daddy? No, just be like, yo, I was here this whole time. Just walk through. I literally walked through. The guy didn't say shit to me. He's just chilling. He's still talking to a girl, rolling a blunt. Trick Daddy's talking to some girls as well. And I just keep going. I'm vibing. I don't even go straight to Trick Daddy. I just like walk around like I'm supposed to be there. Nobody says shit to me. I'm like, wow, Trick Daddy has terrible security. This is ridiculous. I just walked up in here. What if I had a gun? So eventually Trick gets done talking to whoever, and I'm slurring. I walk up to him. Trick Daddy, a little bit of context, I thought was the most gangster person ever. You ever like listen to Ice Cube and think he's the most gangster person ever, but he's actually a very intelligent person? Well, I wouldn't say Trick Daddy's very intelligent, but yeah. Trick, I thought Trick had an AK on him at all times, ready to kill somebody. That was my mindset because of his music. So sure. I go up to Trick. I'm 5'6". I am not a tall person. Trick Daddy might be 5'4". I'm not even joking.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But in his defense, I think he has lupus. He is sick. That doesn't affect your height, but he didn't look very healthy when I saw him, but he is shorter than I am. So I walked up to him. I'm looking down. I was like, hey, Trick, one of the kings of the South, man, can I get a picture with you? And he said, maybe later. And he just goes back to doing what he's doing. My drunk ass. I was a fan of World Star. I don't like World Star at all. I think it's bad for the culture and black people. But at the time, I was like, man, fuck Trick Daddy. If I punch Trick Daddy right now, what the fuck is he gonna do? I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm thinking about punching this dude and jumping off the balcony and running, because obviously his security don't give a damn. They're not paying attention. But then it set in. I was like, maybe he does have this AK that he always raps about, and these guys might have guns around. I was like, don't do it. And I came to my senses like, you're gonna hit somebody because he didn't take a picture with you. Grow up. He probably, he's got other things going on. He doesn't need this fanboy girl and goo goo gone over him. But that was just my encounter with Trick Daddy. I did not think he was a tiny dude, and I didn't, he's true. But he does sound like he does on the records though. He does. He probably is a gangster dude. He probably does shoot people and shit like that. But I was expecting like a 6-foot guy ready to pop off at anything.
Swagger does that, man, on some of the records. And I think that the best rappers can sell a persona. This shit's like the WWE for real. All those rooms that I've been in and the stories that I'm not sharing tonight, I've been in the room with the killers or whatever, and it's never the guy that's on the mic. The guys that really get busy and do it are the people that surround this guy, and they have to keep proving their worth so they can keep that gravy train going, right? And that's what makes the situation volatile and dangerous, because if on the right night, if you had been in there and he said maybe later, there'd have been a dude there that want to make sure Trick gonna pay the light bill, so he gonna knock you the fuck out. Yeah. And show Trick how bothered he is or whatever, right? So and that's the problem that happens. But I have never talked to an artist or any of those people that's on that bullshit. But they boys, they be on that bullshit.
So. Yeah, they ready.
Yeah,
and I'm just glad I got out of that situation. That could have went so wrong. Like I was ready to do it too. I was so stupid. I was dumb, young, dumb, and full of cum. But like the fact that the security did not watch me or anything, just like let me walk in. It's like that blew my mind. I never like, and it was popping in his VIP section too. So that was just really weird, you know.
No doubt.
The Trick Daddy. You got another one for us, bro?
Hey man, I think I'm gonna save the shit I really want to say just for you and Toddy.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to put nobody out there, so I think I'm gonna save that. But again, I will say that that my time working in rap was it was hilarious, and like I said, that shit is the WWE, man. That's all it is.
I believe it. When they, especially now when they get on their Instagrams and like, oh, when I see you, I'm gonna do this to you. It's exactly what the WWE does.
I'll share one short one with you. This isn't incriminating anybody.
Okay.
I was in LA's airport. This was probably what was this? 2008, 2009. I was in LA, and I'm in the airport chilling. I'm sitting at a sports bar. Morris Chestnut comes up next to me.
Oh.
So I'm sitting at a sports bar. Morris walks up. It's Morris Chestnut, me in the middle, and this white guy on the right side of me, right? It's some sports clips going on, like it's ESPN, right? So we're all talking about this sports clip or whatever. I hadn't really paid too much attention to realize who he was. So I looked over and I was like, oh, then it's Morris Chestnut. Now, I didn't say a word because what I learned from working at Crunk Juice is if you don't acknowledge that they're celebrities, they'll talk to you for much longer. Right, they shut down when they realize that because because they may incriminate themselves. Like it's just all kind of shit they're thinking or whatever. Right.
They also probably just want to be treated like normal human beings.
Sure.
Exactly. For sure. So he's in there. He hasn't shaved. He's got on like a little sweatsuit. Like he's just trying to be comfortable for travel. Right. Mm-hmm. There is a table of 4 large black women behind me. Now they were not making noise. They weren't doing nothing. This black lady was in this chair. She was every bit of 300. When she realized it was Morris Chestnut, she kicked her feet out from under that table and her chair slid back 5 feet. She said, God, it's Morris Chestnut. He got the fuck out of there. Like he about face and he was down 3 gates before I realized he was gone. He got the fuck out
sound the alarm.
But the thing about it was that you got to think. It's Morris Chestnut in the airport, and this brother's known for looking good. You know, got you know, and he just was chilling that day. And it just wanted the day to be out there taking pictures and doing all that shit. So that was pretty damn funny. When she kicked that chair back and was Morris Chestnut, he got the fuck out of there. He was gone. And he had been standing there talking to us for 5 minutes. It wasn't like he was in a rush. He was chilling, you know? So that was one little encounter I had.
That's too funny. What's going on, Matt Crash? Thank you for coming through in the chat. What's going on? We having conversations right now about our celebrity encounterments, and I want you to lead this story. Let's talk about when we the guy we saw in Chicago. Ah, damn it.
I don't know his name.
Basketball player. It's slipping my mind real quick. Let me look him up real quick. I'm having a brain fart. I actually know this guy. I'm a fan of him, but damn it. Clippers. Short guy from the Clippers. Well, he's not actually short. He just looks short on television. Paul.
He was not short.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
You want to talk about when we saw Chris Paul?
Sure. So earlier this year when we went to Chicago, we went to this like pop-up gallery called
cool.
I actually have it on my computer called Nevermore. And it was this really, really cool, unique gallery where it was kind of like interactive and like it was like made out of like a bunch of different rooms and stuff, and like you could go into it and like it was just really, really unique, really, really cool. We were really excited about it. And so we're in there, we're just hanging out, like chilling and, you know, walking through, looking at everything. And we see there's this guy and like his family dressed really, really nice, has this like bright orange and black, like checkered coat. Coolest coat.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this dude got swag. I like it.
And so like he's just chilling and stuff, you know, they're just like walking around just like everybody else is, taking pictures and stuff. And he had like his whole family and stuff there with him. Didn't really pay him any mind.
Yeah.
We had gone into this room that was a part of the show, and we were like, oh, this is really, really cool. And then we had walked out, and we ran right into him. Didn't realize it was him. Wasn't paying any attention. It was just another person.
Okay, so real quick, this is the day we saw him. This is what he was wearing. This is
bet.
We were actually there when he took this picture. We were probably in the background somewhere.
Got you.
But go ahead. Sorry.
And so we walked out and ran like right into him, and he was like, "Yo, do you guys know where the bathroom is?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. It's not that door. I'm assuming it's that way." Just talking to him again, like he's just any other
some
person.
Random guy, yeah.
And then we go back out into kind of the middle area where everything is, you know, vibing, and there's a lot more people. And we're standing there, and all of a sudden, Ian turns around and he like looks back at me, and he's like, "I think that's Chris Paul." Like, I'm almost 100% sure that that's him.
I had to verify it,
and he looked him up on Google.
I was like,
and he was like,
because Chris Paul on television looked like he's 5'5", but obviously he's like 6'2". He's tall,
very
but
tall.
He's compared to the other athletes.
Right.
I had to confirm the woman he was with. I was like, let's confirm if that's his wife.
Yeah.
And it was his wife.
And also when like we ran into him, I was like, "Yo, like your jacket is really, really dope." And he's like, "Cool, thanks, whatever." Like just like moved about. And then after he had told me, he was like, "Yeah, he's Chris Paul." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "So are you going to do anything? Or are we just going to keep moving along?" And he was like, "I mean, I guess I'll say something." So he went over and he was like, "Yo, are you Chris Paul?" And he was like, "Yeah."
This is how he responded. This is how he responded. He was like, "Yeah, man, nice." Like, it went from like a casual conversation, like, "Hey, you know, nice, thank you for
like, please don't address me.
Please don't do that." I was like, "Oh, you Chris Paul?" He's like, "Yeah, nice seeing you." And he kept moving.
But he had his whole wife,
family,
he had his children, he had like a photographer there.
Exactly.
Like,
he had a whole photographer taking pictures with him and everything. So we had to respect that. As soon as I got the vibe, like, you know, don't let it know that I'm here. I was like, all right, I'll give you this space. I
it was very, very quiet and very, very subtle. Like he literally kind of just leaned into him a little bit and was like, "Yo, like, are you Chris Paul?" And he was like, "Yeah." And we were like, "Cool, good to know."
Cool. Yeah. I'll keep it moving.
Just moved about. But so that was that. It wasn't anything too crazy, but it was just cool to be like, I talked to this person.
Oh, for sure. Like he approached us. We didn't even he approached us. We didn't even like realize he was here until he approached us. I was like, "Wait, this Negro looks familiar."
Right.
This man looks like he's got a lot of money.
And obviously with that jacket he was wearing, I was like, okay, if he's not Chris Paul, he's got money.
Somebody.
He's somebody. Yeah.
There was a lot of people like that in Chicago, though. We'd be walking down the street and we were like, "That person, I don't know who he is, but he's important."
Well, it was NBA weekend. That's one of the reasons too that a lot of people were there. So.
Yeah.
You know, man, I think one thing I've always been nervous about is, and this is, I'll share this one with y'all. This will be my last one I'll share. You always get nervous about meeting people, especially if you're fans of them, because if the shit don't go right, it's gonna taint.
Exactly.
You know, your view. My wife's from Columbus, Georgia, and she loves T.I. All right, she's been listening to T.I. since before I'm serious, before when he was putting out tapes and shit.
Wow,
right?
She's a fan. Okay.
Yeah, yep. So 2005, right when Katrina happened or whatever, we were in Waldorf, Maryland, and we flew out of the airport in D.C. It's 5:00 in the morning. Who's sitting there? T.I. and Tiny. Now it's 5:00 in the morning. My wife was like, "I gotta say something." I'm like, "Sweetheart, it's 5:00 in the morning."
It's 5:00. I probably wouldn't even done that. I'm a big T.I. fan as well, but like that's too. T.I. is known for popping off, so I would have left that
it's
one.
It's 5:00 in the morning. They look sleepy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's a college senior at this point. She walks over. She was like, "Listen, I'm a fan of both of y'all. It's 5:00 in the morning. I just wanted to say hello." They were the nicest fucking people.
Oh,
it went, and he just gave me sleep. And it was just one of them things to where, you know, it was so cool that she got that moment with them. Because like I said, I was just standing there. I was just stood back. Because this is what I didn't want to do. If a short, you know, woman under 5 feet is walking towards them, security is cool. The minute I stepped that way, and his wife is sitting there, the minute that I stepped that way, we got a problem. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "Babe, go ahead. I'm right here." And it went well. So for that, they both of them will always have my respect. You know what I mean? For sure.
That's a very good story. I've heard actually mixed stories.
He's a person that I feel like could go either way.
Exactly. I've heard mixed things about T.I. from people that I've heard like this was like 2006, I believe. I heard one of my friends walked up to him and said, "Hey, T.I., can I get her autograph?" And he responded, "Hey, what was my album before I'm Serious?" And he couldn't say anything. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my face." And he just kept it moving. Yeah, I've heard that about T.I. Like He's like, if you ain't a fan, you better not even approach me.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's different. It's changed up too since he had gotten all that trouble. See,
yeah,
I think there's a bit of a difference there.
That Disney smile on after Paper Trail dropped.
Right.
I'm a citizen. Look at me.
right. It's a little bit different, but I spent time with him in a green room in Atlanta one time, and when those kids were little, they had just came from private school. They had uniforms on. He was doing homework while he was doing the summer jam joint for Atlanta.
Okay.
And I was in the green room because we sponsored some shit. Again, I was in another green room, and they are a real family. So this mega rap concert is going on out there, and they do it in Atlanta every year. Radio stations having a little summer jam joint. Inside that green room, it was just his family. Them kids was in there doing homework and shit. It wasn't loud in there. Nobody was coming in there smelling like weed. Like they weren't playing that with the kids being there. It was like an early show. Like he's taking the stage at 7:00. So kids are taken by private car to the venue. They're doing homework, kind of chilling out or whatever. But they were all little then. So yeah, he's a good dude, man. But I imagine he's got his moments just like everybody else.
Oh, for sure.
I think anybody would be quick to get upset when you're probably like stressed and tired all the time, and ain't nobody ever leave you alone.
You got to definitely read the room when you see these celebrities, because at the end of the day, they are people too, and they're not exhibits at the zoo, guys. So we gotta respect their privacy, But some of them do appreciate the love, like they do it for the love and for the art.
No doubt.
So Kevin, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. This has been great. Seems like the fan, or not the fan, I don't want to call them fans. It seems like my friends in the chat have been enjoying this conversation as well. Kevin, man, please, we would love to have you back on this show. Do you want to plug anything? I know you are going to do YouTube. I'm going to promote the hell out of that. I'm going to bother you every day to join this crazy world we live in.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Whenever I feel like I have something to say worth putting out to the world, I think I'll start a YouTube channel at that point.
You ain't fooling anybody. You got plenty to talk about. Come on, man.
Well, it's plenty to talk about, but it just matters if people want to hear what the fuck you got to say. You know what I mean? I could talk all day, which is to say that, hey, I will come on this show and do shit with y'all anytime. I appreciate the invite. I had a ball tonight, man. Just talking about this stuff, and if there's anything else you guys ever want to do, man, just hit me up.
For sure, man. I mean, I'll think about it, but that Nas question, really, I don't know. I don't know if we can. I don't know.
No, you came for blood tonight with the questions. And
the Logan thing. Spots. You were on thin ice with the Logan answer, but the Nas thing, really. Oh, but
I might have just cut ties.
I'm just playing, man. I'm glad. As much as if we could disagree, but at the end of the day, I respect you being real. Like, don't be that. Don't come over here with that fake stuff. Nicholas said, "Great show, guys. Appreciate you coming through, big homie. This was probably one of my favorite episodes. Seriously, I've had a great
appreciate the love, man. Like I said, I enjoyed it, and I've been getting familiar with your content over the last couple of weeks, man. So I knew that this was going to be a place where I could come in and actually be myself and let my hair down and kick it how I really kick it. So appreciate y'all setting the vibe, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please, and leave me some love. Like it, it helps out. Helps keep a brother out the streets. And yeah, we'll be. I have a video dropping Friday. It's about Black Star Wars characters. About there's not a lot in this universe, but the ones that they are the coolest people in that universe. Not just in Star Wars, but like off camera. Like these are the coolest people on the planet. So look out for that. It's gonna be
a really good video.
Reggie says he can't come back. Next case. Reggie's still not happy with the Nas question.
Man, Reggie, show me some love, baby. Come on, man. Don't do me like that.
Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you for coming through with that super chat, Nick. Thank you very much. $5. I appreciate that, big homie. Thank you. That warms my soul right there. Appreciate that. Hopefully I'll see you Thanksgiving. If not, I'm going to definitely contact you this Thanksgiving. And King of the Hill, thank you for coming through as always, big homie. And look out for my video coming this Friday. I think you will enjoy that one as well. Kevin, it's been great, man. And we will have you back on and for more unpopular opinions to piss Reggie off. All right, guys. Thank you for the love in the chat. We'll see you Friday.
Have a good night.
All right. Peace. And